superstardom, can captivate the world in that way, but then also can sub in as a supporting player in a way that steals the show.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Wednesday, the second day of April. We're in 2025, ready to start your day the right way. All of your news, weather, and sports here this morning. We're going to be talking about the Nebraska men's basketball team. They're still playing. Huskers in the second round of the college basketball crown tonight out in Las Vegas. They'll take on Georgetown. We'll be talking about that coming up. Creighton scored 3 runs in the first inning last night, went on to beat the Nebraska baseball team 9-5 at Hawksfield and Lincoln. Had some high school baseball last night as well. Central City Centura beat the Hastings High baseball team 10-2 in a game played out at Duncan Field. We'll tell you about how that occurred last night. The Adams Central baseball team, they were on the road. They played at Holdridge last night, beat the Dusters by the score of 6-0. Sandy Creek boys basketball team going to be changing coaches here. We'll talk about that coming up in a big coaching move in NCAA basketball as Texas A&M's Buzz Williams is leaving to take over at Maryland. So all that and more is coming up this morning. Plus, we'll be hearing from John Butler. He's the defensive coordinator for the Nebraska football team as the Huskers continue their spring workouts in Lincoln. So lots going on for a Wednesday as they welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
John Butler has a funeral home. Come on.
Not the local John Butler.
Not the local John Butler, although I bet he could make a pretty good defensive coordinator, too. Good morning, Mike, as we wake up and get going here this morning, hoping for a little bit more stable connection as we continue to roll along today. We actually took a part off of the computer rather than adding extra elements and extra wires today. So we're hoping for a little better day today than we had yesterday. News-wise, we're going to head out to the state capitol, check in on what's going on over with the Nebraska legislature. We've got some stories in the courts from down south in Red Willow County, as well as up north towards the Marquette area. We'll catch you up on the latest on those stories, and also talk some electronic recycling event, which is going to be coming up here this weekend over at the city landfill. So much more to get to on that front. And yeah, I mean, for Central City and Centura area, I guess good thing that they were playing ball in Hastings, as they had some wacky weather up north, and certainly tornado sirens and severe weather, damaging winds and some hail all towards the northern portion as that pushed off to the northeast last night.
Yeah, Grand Island, I understand, out by northwest. The golf course out in that area had some high winds and some hail up that way. So, yeah, everything happened after the baseball game got wrapped up. We played the final half inning in the rain at Duncan Field, but we were on the turf, which was all right. But as long as the lightning didn't show up, and it did not, so we played the final half inning. The Hastings have batted in the bottom of the 7th inning, basically in a rainstorm last night.
Oh, it was weird because it was pouring rain for maybe about, 5-10 minutes or so. Might be a little bit longer depending on where you were at. But, then you walked outside and it was just perfect. You look up to the north and they're all talking about getting hailed on, and was watching some video of some dirt spinning up and some rotation. It was right by my old apartment complex where I just moved away from. I literally saw my apartment in the background of this video, and I'm like, oh, good thing I don't live there. There was some down power poles and some really high winds and some damaging weather up to our friends in the north.
All right, so that's what's going on. Weather-wise, looks like it's going to be a calmer day today, although it looks like a chance of rain returns later this week. And we got cold, I would say cold conditions, cooler conditions for the weekend. When you get to this point in time, when it's April, you don't talk about cold conditions. It's just cooler conditions.
Yeah, and as long as you don't have that dirty S word in there, I think that we're all just peachy happy.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
What's wrong with cooler weather?
I don't like 40s. It's April now. It's time to start thinking spring. I went out to a couple of, like Walmart. They now have their flowers out in their garden center. So that means it's spring. It's time to plant flowers and stuff like that. You don't do that in your homestead, but my wife will.
Okay.
I won't be planting any flowers, but she will.
I'm not.
The flowers are out and they're ready to be purchased.
No, I mean you can still wear shorts and 40s. It's fine. It's okay. I had a student that stopped me the other day. It was yesterday, and she's like, "I don't understand how you can wear shorts when it's so cold." I'm like, "This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this temperature. It could be like 40s and 50s for good. I'm good with that."
Yeah, I haven't got my shorts out yet for the year.
Really?
Well, even when it was like 70s.
You didn't break out the shorts last week when it was like 80 degrees?
No, I told you I didn't want to wear my shorts and expose my white legs to everybody.
I was contemplating turning on my air conditioner. You haven't even broke out the shorts yet.
No, I'm not going to. I need to wear them like around here for a while, like when I'm mowing the yard or doing some stuff outside. I'm not going to expose my white legs to everybody. That's embarrassing.
Your neighbors don't care?
No, I could care less about my neighbors. No, I could really care less about my neighbors. I just want to be seen in public with white legs.
Wow.
I'm not going to go to the tanning booth. I need.
Great.
So I need. How's your legs look great already?
Because I wear shorts all year round.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose you can get some rays during the middle of the winter when you wear them.
That's why I do it.
Some things happening in the NBA last night. Normally we don't talk a lot about the NBAs, but some interesting things that happened last night. Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets had 61 points last night. In fact, he had a triple-double, 61 points. He had 10 rebounds, 10 assists as the Denver Nuggets, they won in double overtime last night, but they lost the game. Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Denver Nuggets 140-139, double overtime last night. Jokic scoring 61 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. The most points in a triple-double in NBA history. Played 52 minutes and 38 seconds in the ball game last night. It went into double overtime, but the Timberwolves beating the Denver Nuggets by 1 point despite the big performance by Jokic.
That's outstanding. 61 points in a losing
Yeah, you still
effort.
lose. Steph Curry, Golden State, they played in Memphis last night. The Warriors had lost to Memphis by 51 points earlier in the season. Curry came up big. He scored 52 points last night for the Warriors as they beat the Grizzlies 134-125. So some big performances in the NBA last night. And Milwaukee, they snapped a 4-game skid by shooting a franchise record 68.9% from the field. They were 51 out of 74 from the floor as Milwaukee beat Phoenix 133-123. No team had shot for that high of a percentage in a game since March 13th of 1998 when the LA Clippers shot 69.3%. They were 61 out of 88 in a 152-120 win over the Toronto Raptors. I don't know, we don't follow the NBA a whole lot on this show, and you don't follow the NBA very much either. Probably your least followed sport.
Not Basketball Association, yeah.
But I thought I'd bring that up because that's some great performances last night in the NBA. There are a few NBA fans out there. I wanted to bring that up to get you up to date. Some great performances last night on the hardwood.
Speaking of great performances on the ice, what if I told you the Blues won their 10th straight game in overtime against Detroit and have now swapped spots with the Minnesota Wild, who had a 6-game lead on the St. Louis Blues before the All-Star break?
Yeah, you've been telling us here the last week or so the Blues have been on a tear.
10 straight wins for the St. Louis Blues. They have now moved in front of Minnesota in the wild card standings. They have a cushion, and they control their own destiny. They have put themselves in an opportunity. And if you flash back to 2019, it is the exact same scenario. In 2019, when the Blues won their one and only Stanley Cup in franchise history, they were dead-ass last in the Western Conference at the All-Star break. And then hit a miracle stride halfway down the stretch, got hot, started playing some good hockey. And it looks like deja vu. And I hate to put the cart before the horse because there's a lot of talented teams in the Western Conference. A lot of teams that I don't want to face in a 7-game series. But right now, you got a lot to be excited about if you're a St. Louis sports fan. That's for sure. Baseball team could pick up some wins, but
the St. Louis Blues, you're probably in the room by yourself.
I don't know. There's some hockey fans. I think every hockey fan I know has a different team, though.
That's what I mean. You're probably in the St. Louis Blues hockey room by yourself.
Yep. But I think
there are a few hockey fans out there, but like I said, they're cheering for other teams other than the St. Louis Blues.
But game's got to recognize game, right? Like, you still got to tip your cap to a 10-game streak.
Yeah, you win 10 games in a row at anything.
Yeah.
We can't do it picking football games or basketball games.
Hell, we can't pick 5 in a row.
Or 3. We can't go back-to-back very often. NFL owners continue discussions about the Philadelphia Eagles' short yardage tush push. They tabled the proposal yesterday, did not make a decision. They're going to evidently bring this up again at their spring meeting, which is set for May 20th and 21st in Minnesota. So they tabled a proposal to eliminate the tush push, a proposal that was brought on by the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. Takes a minimum of 24 votes to approve a change. They've already earned support of 16 NFL teams that have come out in opposition of the tush push. So they tabled the proposal, and they're going to bring it up again at their meetings on May 20th and 21st in Minnesota.
Well, let's be honest. Like, yesterday was a really bad day to break news anyways. Like, you didn't want to have too much news to make on April 1st because half the people don't believe you anyways. Like, social media was a barren wasteland of awfulness yesterday. Like, I just had to jump off. Like, I was trying to get caught up on what was going on in the world. I couldn't tell if crap was fake, if crap was fooling. I did, correct me if I'm wrong, if this one actually went through, or if it was an April Fool's Day joke, I still don't know. I believe they changed the overtime rule to now where it's both teams get a possession like it is in the playoffs, but it wasn't in the regular season. I think they changed it now to be a regular season, but I could be wrong.
No, that did go through. I think that's real news. That's not fake news. Yeah, that's not fake news. I think that really did go through earlier in the day before people realized that it was April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
I got caught up on one. I got caught up on one yesterday. I was reading a story about Vegas that they were going to demolish the Luxor and the Excalibur, and they were going to bring in this brand new multi-billion-dollar casino out there.
Yeah.
And then I read today it was all fake news. It got me all fired up. I said, what the hell are they doing demolishing those two casinos now?
Yep.
But it was fake news.
Oh, yeah.
I hate April Fool's Day anyway, and I did my best to stay away from anybody that would be pranking me throughout the day. Raj and I had a nice afternoon together until I went to the baseball game.
That's lovely.
And then I sat in my room and didn't talk to anybody.
You hate April Fool's Day that much?
Yeah, I can't
You
stand
don't
it.
even socialize.
And then I got pranked anyway because I come home last night and started reading the social media sites, and I ran across that story. ran across that story and I said, God, those
gonna
idiots
get
out
you.
there, I'm not ever going to Vegas again. They're demolishing everything that I'm accustomed to. Then I found out it was fake news.
I got my students good. I went in and I was dead serious. Like, I had worked on this, rehearsed this in front of a mirror, and I was just the most serious I've ever been in class. And I said, hey, real talk for a minute. I got an email from the administration. We have to do these assessment tests. We have to figure out where we need to make up the most ground in the last month of class. And so just try your best. It is for 20% of your grade, and I can't change that. But try your best, and then we will work on the things that we need to work on and bump that grade back up. And so I was deathly serious. They had the fear of God in them as I pulled out a college level 300 level test from the University of Missouri of journalism and decided to use these questions. And they looked like they were lost in space. Like, we haven't gone over this, Mr. H. What are you talking about? I get to question 10. I'm like, what day is today? And they all crinkled up their tests and threw it at me.
Oh, God.
It was beautiful.
Very good.
We hate so. Yeah, all that work I built up all year with trust and friendship and fun in class, that all got laid to waste yesterday because I decided to prank my students.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. If you'd like to chime in on something we've discussed or something you want to bring up to us today, either sports-wise or news-wise, maybe the weather last night, what you experienced last night for the severe weather, or anything else on your mind, give us a call, 402-834-1330. You can certainly leave us a message on one of our social media sites. We'll continue to monitor that as well as we get you up, get you going here on this Wednesday morning, joining you at your morning breakfast table with all of your news, weather, and sports here today. So the Tush Push has been tabled again, and they're going to bring it up again. So how do you prepare your team? If you're the Philadelphia Eagles or the Buffalo Bills, is that part of my game plan all of a sudden? Is it stay in the playbook for a while? They're not going to address it until May. Is that too late?
No.
It's all right.
Yeah, you can reinstall that pretty easily. It's kind of like that adapter that I had on my computer that we deinstalled. I mean, all you have to do is just remove it from the playbook, and if you ever need it again, you just simply plug it right back in. That's the Tush Push. Table the Tush Push.
So it's, it'll be brought up again on May 20th. They call them the spring meetings on May 20th and May 21st.
That's summer meetings.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Isn't that about summer? Aren't the meetings they're in right now, shouldn't you call those spring? Are these the winter meetings that they're in right now?
In April?
In April. So then they got the spring meetings in May. Then do they hold the summer meetings again before the football season starts?
It doesn't bode well for the anti-Tush Push people that they're tabling this. Because if it was really that bad for the game, I think they would have immediately taken it out, right?
Yeah, so they got 16 teams right now that say they support abandoning the Tush Push. They still need 8 more. I don't know if
you don't have the votes.
Yeah, I don't think they have the votes to eliminate it, at least this year. But they're going to bring it up again on May 20th and May 21st.
Amber says June is summer. Get your clocks right. It's May. Once school gets out, it's summer. And that's May.
When is the official? I guess it is June.
It is
summer
June.
meetings.
Yeah.
I know, but really, when the kids get out of school,
That's summer.
that's summer.
Yep.
I agree.
Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start of summer.
I agree. 7:18, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Huddle Up.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start at the state capitol, where lawmakers are another step closer to banning the sale of lab-grown meat in Nebraska after a bill was given first-round approval. Governor Jim Pillen said, quote, "This is a major victory for Nebraska agriculture. The creation of the bioreactor meat is simply a dishonest attack on producers in our state and has no place on Nebraska grocery shelves." He goes on to say, "Thank you to Senator DeKay for the leadership and to all the other senators who voted to advance the effort to protect producers and consumers," end quote. Senators also gave first-round approval to a measure setting a lower minimum wage for younger workers than the wage regulation approved by voters 3 years ago. So that's a thing. Adams County residents have the opportunity to recycle several kinds of electronics thanks to a grant from the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy's Waste Reduction and Recycling Incentive Grant Program. The Hastings Solid Waste Department will hold an electronics recycling event on Friday and Saturday at 725 South Southern Hills Drive. A former Webster County Sheriff's deputy is now facing several charges of possession of child pornography. 30-year-old Zachary Polmeyer has been charged with 5 counts of possession of child porn. An arraignment in Webster County Court has been set for Friday, April 4th. A Marquette woman is now facing first-degree murder charges after a 3-month-old was found unresponsive in her care and later died. 20-year-old Tiffany Kerr is now charged with first-degree murder and committing intentional child abuse resulting in death. A pretrial hearing for Tiffany Kerr has been set for June 12th. It is now coming up on 7:21. With that, we will head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, the Nebraska men's basketball team will play Georgetown tonight in the second round of the college basketball crown out in Las Vegas. Huskers are 18-14 in the season after Monday's 86-78 win over Arizona State. The Hoyas are 18-15. They beat Washington State 85-82 on Monday. Tip-off will be at 8:30 tonight. You can see it on FS1. In the other game tonight, Butler will play Boise State at 6. In the games last night, Cincinnati beat DePaul 83-61. Central Florida got by Oregon State 76-75. Villanova ran past Colorado 85-64. And USC knocked off Tulane 89-60. Creighton scored 3 runs in the first inning, went on to beat Nebraska 9-5 last night at Hawks Field in Lincoln. Nebraska scored 5 runs on 9 hits, while Creighton totaled 9 runs on 12 hits. Riley Silva led the Huskers at the plate, going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. TJ Coates recorded 1 out in the starts, allowing 3 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Nebraska is now 12-16 on the season. They'll play at Omaha tonight. First pitch will be at 6. Central City Centura beat the Hastings High baseball team 10-2 yesterday out of Duncan Field. The Colonels got off to a hot start. They scored 3 runs in the first inning. Brody Dreher was the losing pitcher. He went 4 innings and gave up 3 runs and 3 hits. Dreher struck out 1, walked 5. Dreher also had a couple of base hits at the plate. Hastings is now 2-2 in the season. They will play host to Ralston on Thursday. First pitch will be at 4:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 4:15. Adams Central baseball team, they beat Holdridge 6-0 yesterday. Patriots are now 4-3 on the season. Will play at York on Thursday. First pitch will be at 4:30. Other action from yesterday in high school baseball, St. Paul Palmer, they beat Centennial 9-5. Guardian Angels Central Catholic West Point Beamer defeated Aurora 12-2. And York knocked off Lincoln Standing Bearer 11-6. Sandy Creek head boys basketball coach Cole Wiseman is stepping down after 7 years of the program. He posted a 63-40 record with 2 district final appearances. Wiseman is moving to Crete next year as a teacher and an assistant football coach. Tyler Colvin has been hired to replace Wiseman as the head boys basketball coach at Sandy Creek. Colvin was the head boys basketball coach at Columbus Lakeview for the past 7 years, where he compiled a record of 41-96. And Texas A&M's Buzz Williams has finalized a 6-year deal to become the next head coach at Maryland. Williams has reached 11 NCAA tournaments in his 18 years as a head coach. a run that includes 5 consecutive appearances at Marquette, 3 straight at Virginia Tech, and each of the past 3 years at Texas A&M. He is 373 and 228 as a college head coach, which includes 1 year at New Orleans back in 2006-2007. This year, Texas A&M was 23 and 11. They came in 5th in the rugged SEC and earned a number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. That's a check in your sports headlines this morning, coming up on 7:25 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Wednesday, we'll have lingering isolated showers around the day. It'll be cool. We'll be in the mid-50s, and the winds will increase out of the northwest 20 to 25 with some gusts in the mid-30s. Overnight tonight, the skies will clear. We'll have an overnight low right around freezing. On Thursday, we'll bring in more chances of showers in the evening after high of 55. Still a little breezy. Thursday night, an overnight low right around 40 degrees, and a chance for rain and a rain-snow mix as we head into the weekend.
Right now, we've got west winds at 11 miles per hour. It is 43 degrees at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class winged beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Mike Will, Tyson Vronic. It's a Wednesday morning, the 2nd day of April, 2025. National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day today.
Peanut butter jelly time.
I know. Do you like that?
No. No, I hate peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, I'm not a big peanut butter and jelly guy. My grandson continues to harp on me to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's not a sandwich. That's just spread on bread. I need some substance. I need some meat and cheeses. I don't want
just peanut
jam.
Butter and jelly.
I don't want jam and butter.
I know a lot of people enjoy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Weird freaks.
You and I are not two of those people.
We're not among them.
That's the only thing that we actually agree on.
Yeah, give me a burger and a beer, man.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I agree with you. There's got to be something in between those two slices of bread instead of just a little jelly and a little peanut butter.
Yep.
Now, I like peanut butter just on its own. I don't like that. And I'll have a peanut butter sandwich occasionally, which is not really a sandwich. I just put some peanut butter on a piece of bread. That's not really a sandwich.
I can have some peanut butter cups that are caked in chocolate, like Reese's. Yeah, it's got to have something unhealthy with it.
Yeah. So, I'll take those Reese's, too. Peanut butter Reese's.
All day.
So, anyway, Nebraska spring football continues in Lincoln. John Butler met up with the folks yesterday after practice, and he talked about the first 5 days of practice for Nebraska and what they got accomplished.
The main three things are just obviously grading and demanding great effort out of the guys. You know, we want to be a culture where the effort is a premium, how hard we play, how physical we play, how fast we play. So effort is something every day we're making sure that we're demanding and rewarding. Then obviously execution of our schemes, you know, whatever we're putting in, the execution's got to be elite from a fundamental standpoint, from an assignment standpoint. You know, so that's a huge piece. You know, we've got some different things going in here and there. So execution's elite. And then obviously the biggest thing is at the end of the day when you're playing football on defense is the finishing moments, you know, the times you have an opportunity to make a play, make the tackle, win the coverage rep, win your pass rush rep, take the ball away. So, you know, those three things are honestly what we're hammering every single day as we're trying to build this thing one day at a time.
Yeah, the coach says they are really emphasizing finishing plays.
I would say it's like everything, it's a work in progress, but it's something that, you know, we want to measure it and then reward it. So we're doing a good job. Our staff is doing a good job of making sure that, you know, when the player does make the play, he's you know, given an attaboy for that. But then when he doesn't, we want to coach him how to make the play and put himself in a better position. Because at the end of the day, you know, when these games, all these close games and high-level football, whether you're in the NFL or in a big-time college football, they're going to come down to the last possession of the game. And you've got to train yourself to win in those moments. So every single day, every time we meet with them, every time we practice them, we're trying to harp on that as well as the other two things.
A lot of new faces running around on the coaching staff here at spring football practice. There's 4 new assistant coaches that are new to the program and 5 that have different spots on the coaching staff this year. But so far, so good, according to John Butler.
It's been awesome. It's been, you know, kind of an unbelievable growth opportunity for me. Obviously, I have great direction with Matt, experienced head coach. Provides a clear vision on exactly what he wants everything to look like on offense, defense, and special teams. So I follow his lead in that regard. You know, great confidant, in Phil Snow. That relationship's been awesome for me. We spend a lot of time just talking football, talking philosophy, talking, you know, just things that are on my mind. So that's been great. And then obviously all the coaches that we added, whether it's a different position or a new coach, you know, they're hungry to follow the lead of coach and then obviously follow my lead. So it's been great. You know, a lot of energy, a lot of appreciation of those guys for being here, and they're doing their best to get us better one day at a time.
And Butler says there's a lot of experience right now on that defensive staff.
Where he comes from, he's with the Chiefs for 8 years. All they've done is won. And unfortunately, multiple times they beat me in the playoff game. So I have to respect that, you know. And he brings an unbelievable amount of experience in that winning culture. You know, obviously, you know, Phil Simpson has a great background with not only Phil played for Matt, so he can provide some insight there. You know, Rob's been around him, has played for Matt. Addison has a great amount of experience, you know, and obviously as a DB guy, you always kind of, you know, I don't want to say you talk more to him, but like, we have common things. So there's a lot of things we're constantly talking about how he did things and how maybe I want to do things and how we can maybe meet in the middle. And then obviously with Snow, I mean, guy's been coaching 100 years. So like, you know, every experience that he's had in building different defenses and how, you know, years have been different. And obviously all of his great input on, you know, working with Matt for so many years. I mean, I've only been around Matt for nine 9 months-ish, and I've loved my time here, but there's still a lot of things I got to learn and figure out, so I got to lean on him to maybe help me in that regard.
And John Butler says they continue to install the defensive packages after 5 days.
Yeah, it's a process. Initially, when you start going with spring football, it's usually first and second down, base fundamental defense, really emphasizing like the things I talked about, the effort, the execution and finish, and the fundamental aspects of that. But as you're starting to progress, like right now, we're starting to kind of just introduce some of our third down and 2 minute. And there'll be some things that are schemes that everybody does, and then there's going to be some stuff that that we use a lot in other places I've been, let's just say. And then obviously that's where you lean on some of the experience of the other coaches. The Chiefs had a great third down package under Spags. Phil's had a great third down package. And at the end of the day, that's part of the winning moments. Like first and second down, every down's important, but like the money downs are third down and then stopping people in the red zone. If you look at our bowl game, we might have given up some yards here and there. We played great in the red zone, and that was the key. So I believe in that, and I think you've got to do a good job of in those situational areas, third down, red zone, and 2 minute, if you're gonna win football games that matter.
All right, that's Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler as the Huskers finish up their 5th day of spring practice down in Lincoln. Lean back, grab your cup of Roulade, grab one more sip.
One more sip.
One more sip.
For a Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator who's talking about the winning culture in Kansas City and all the times that KC beat Buffalo in the playoffs. Well, jab and twist of the knife to the Bills fans, but...
Well, I think Butler was with Houston for a while.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, so he was with Houston for a while. So, yeah, both of those teams, the Chiefs kicked butt.
Bringing some winning culture into Nebraska, I'll take a sip of that.
Yeah, so we got the assistant defensive line coach for the Chiefs. He's now on the Nebraska staff. That makes me want to take maybe one more sip. We have an ex-Chiefs.
Just a little sippy poo.
I want to take maybe just a little. Is it all right with you? Can I take this one more little sip?
You can drink all the Roulade you want, man.
No,
I'm making gallons over here getting ready for the football season to get started.
I've got to take it a little bit at a time. I don't want to indulge myself too much in the Roulade. So just a sip and maybe a little extra this morning because we have a Kansas City Chiefs assistant coach now on our staff that beat the crap out of Houston and Buffalo.
Speaking of the Huskers, let's switch gears to baseball a little bit. Fresh off a huge weekend where we take 2 of 3 from the 5th-ranked team in the country. You might know we stub our toe in the midweek series against Creighton.
TJ Coates.
That's baseball.
TJ Coates. He was a starting pitcher last night.
Yep.
He recorded 1 out.
Yep.
Allowed 3 runs, 2 hits, and a walk, and they pulled him out. So not a good starting performance for TJ Coates.
Not a good outing. And, man, we're just struggling to find consistency. We have won some big games. We've won some good series, but we cannot consistently follow it up with winning baseball. And we just have to find some consistency, some common ground somewhere. I mean, like I said, baseball is one of those sports where you can sit in the 500 mark for the duration of the season, find yourself in a conference tournament, start winning some games in the conference tournament, catapult yourself into some regional discussion. But you take a look at what the metrics are in terms of the building your regional resume, and it's not RPI like it is in college basketball, but it's a similar metric system, and we're in the 30s in terms of strength of schedule, quality of opponents, quality starts, But then you look at the win-loss record, and you're scratching your head thinking, man, how's a team with 30 on the RPI rating falling so far down in the standings? We just got to start playing some consistent ball.
12-16. We're 12-16.
4 games under 500. I thought we were closer to 500 than that.
Nope, 12-16. You got Omaha tonight, which won't be easy.
Got to bounce back.
Yeah, we have not been playing good baseball, and you and I are both on the same page. we think this team has a lot of talent, but we've been saying that for the past couple of years.
Yeah, they're loaded.
And we come up short. And we're waiting for this team to get started. You told me, I think at the early part of the month last month, that the Huskers need to get rolling. And you thought they would get rolling. But like I said, the consistency factor, how many hits did I say we had last night? Handful of hits in the ball game.
They scattered 7, I think.
Nebraska scored 5 runs on 9 hits.
9
Creighton
hits.
had 9 runs on 12 hits. That's through 9 innings, don't forget.
Yeah. Just gotta, like I said, gotta get it rolling. Gotta get it hot. I mean, and it's everybody's gotta to do their part, right? Like the lineup has to, top of the order has to set the table for the meat of the order. Then the back half has to come around and produce. And then you got to be able to put some base runners on then to set the table for the top of the order. And we're just falling short of that. How many innings do I look up? And, I haven't taken a bite of a peanut butter jelly sandwich yet. And I turn around and I look up and we're already got 2 outs. We're aggressive. We're first pitch swinging. We're chasing a lot. We got to get into a rhythm offensively right now, and that's falling short. And then when you got a team that's struggling to find a rhythm offensively, and then you go out and you throw an egg in terms of a pitching performance. I mean, that was a short-lived outing, and it wasn't his best stuff last night, and that's okay. But you don't have the offense to back you up. So yeah, it kind of unraveled last night, and it looked like a poor showing.
All right, so Nebraska baseball, they'll play at Omaha tonight. Nebraska basketball, they're still playing. They're still playing hoops, folks. Nebraska, in Vegas.
When's the last time Nebraska's played April basketball?
Nebraska going to be playing Georgetown tonight in the second round of the college basketball crown in Las Vegas. Huskers are 18-14 in the season. They beat Arizona State the other night, 86-78. The Hoyas, they are 18-15. They beat Washington State on Monday, 85-82. Tip-off tonight is going to be at 8:30.
I'm sorry, what? 8:30 tip-off?
8:30 tip-off time.
Gross.
You'll see it, or you'll be able to see it, if you stay up that long, on FS1.
We are a 7.5-point favorite.
Really?
7.5.
Wow.
Over-under is 152.5.
I wouldn't have thought that. I'd say maybe 2 or 3. 7-point favorite, huh?
Yeah.
The other game tonight has Butler playing Boise State at 6.
Butler and Boise State tonight. There you go. Public's all over Nebraska. Good Lord.
Are they?
Yeah. Public is all over Nebraska.
What do they see that we don't?
Well, are we going to see Cale Jacobson continue? He has apparently decided to save his best basketball for the end.
No one knew him the entire year.
Never saw him on the court.
No.
And he turned around and had one of the best individual performances that we've seen so far. Obviously Bryce has had a lot of them, but you turn around and, if we get that production out of Cale again, that 7.5 is attainable.
All right, so tonight, 8:30. If they win, they'll play again on Saturday in the semifinals.
Wow.
And then we got to start drinking some more Kool-Aid. Because Huskers might be able to... it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
No, it doesn't. Nope. Hoiberg-Aid.
Hoiberg-Egg. It doesn't have the same ring as Roulade.
Fred Light.
Fred Light.
Fred Light. Fred Lager.
We could, so the Huskers would, if the win, they would play Saturday semifinals, and then the finals are on Sunday. By the way, speaking of light, I did explore.
Did you get Garage Time?
No, I tried. I looked for it the other night. I was told it was at Walmart.
Oh.
So I trailed down the beer aisle.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for my garage beer. That's Travis Kelce's beer. One was his brother and old Paige What's-Her-Face, the golf lady. They're out on this garage beer. I was going to pick me up a Handy 6 the other night. They didn't have it.
I think the 6s come in 16-ounce cans.
I don't care how big they are.
Right. Well, I'm just telling you, somebody's got to have it. around town. We got to put our lobby to work today. Go around town, find out who's got it.
I'm going to find it. I'll find it today. I'll drop by a liquor store, see if they've got it.
Shaner says Don Brown has some for us.
Don Brown, he's got it. You might know he's the biggest Chiefs fan ever.
There you go.
He's got garage beer. I could go over
find out who's selling garage beer.
I could really maybe go over to his house and rate his sample to see if I want to ante up for a 6-pack of garage beer. I could go drink it over at his house, see if I like it. If I don't like it, hell, there's no reason for me to go buy a 6-pack. It'll just sit in my campsite all year long, and if I try to give it to people that I don't like, here, try this beer. This is good stuff. Garage beer.
Hy-Vee in Grand Island, if you're making a trip up north today. Hy-Vee
They've got it.
Has it. Helpful smile at every aisle. There you go. Yeah, my parents tried it. They enjoy their retirement, and they enjoy going out to the garage, and they've sort of got this own little bar that they've assembled in the garage, and so kind of as a joke, they bought some garage beer for their garage time, and yeah, they said it's like Coors Light.
So it is like Coors Light.
It's very similar. It's just
All
beer.
right.
It's beer-flavored beer.
Well, that's beer I drink, so I might like garage beer.
Yeah. They took one look. They said you wouldn't like it. And I'm like, okay. I know.
Don Brown,
Now I know.
Hy-Vee, yeah, everybody's chiming in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to drive to Grand Island today to get my garage beer. I don't want to drive up there just for a 6-pack.
Get 2.
I don't want to get 2 6-packs. What happens if I don't like it?
You pawn it off on people you don't like.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I pawn it off for the people I don't like at the lake. Here, have some garage beer.
You want to have my beer at the lake at my camping spot? Here, have this one.
And the label is just plain. It just says like garage beer.
Yeah, it's just
remember when the beer was out? It was just beer.
Beer. Yep.
You had that plain label. It was just beer.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask for a beer, you get a beer.
You get a beer. You get beer.
So anyway, that's my mission today. I've got a couple of meetings I got to go to today, but my main mission today is to find garage beer somewhere. Somebody's got to have it in town. Somebody's got to have it around here.
Well,
or I'll make an excuse to drive to Grand Island.
Go see the Chief.
Why not? Yeah, I'll go see Chief.
Yep.
Go see a couple of clients that I have in Grand Island.
There you go.
Just all that just to get garage beer. God.
That's dedication, man.
That is. I don't know. Oh, I ran into the guy on Saturday who was telling me about it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I've been hot on the trail.
Been thirsting for a garage beer.
Yeah, but I can't find it anywhere. I'll find it today.
You'll find it today.
I'll pop one maybe tomorrow
back
morning.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll maybe have it tonight. I don't have a game tonight, so I can maybe pop one tonight. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to join us here today. 402-834-1330. Or you can drop us a message on one of our social media sites. A lot on the plate today. I mean, we're talking about garage beer, and we're talking about Husker baseball, Husker basketball tonight. Maybe we can watch the Husker basketball game tonight at 8:30 with my garage beer.
You'll have a sip, and then you'll sit down on the couch, and then you'll wake up tomorrow morning for the show. That's what happens to me for 8:30 start times. I sit down, I get all ready, I'm all prepared and ready to go for like late night baseball or whatever's on the tube, and I'll put my feet up on the couch.
You're gonna cash it in at 8:30?
Sometimes. I mean, you're not making it to the second half, are you? Realistically, you're not thinking.
Probably not. Do I have to watch the entire first half to tune into the second half?
If it was like the entire first half against Arizona State, you probably would fall asleep because that was a pretty boring first half. They didn't turn it on until half two.
38-30 at halftime the other night.
Just set your alarm for somewhere around 9:45, 10 o'clock. Take a little nappy poo and catch the last 5 minutes.
Could do that.
There's that.
So, anyway, 8:30 tonight for the Huskers as they take on Georgetown. I think there's the first ever meeting I read today, between these two teams.
Yeah, I can't recall a time where we played the Hoyas.
Georgetown and Nebraska going tonight. And then they'll move on to the T-Mobile Arena if they win for the semifinals. They're playing at the MGM Grand something Garden Arena. Again tonight, the same one they played at the other day. So,
okay.
All right, so that's what's going on. It's coming up on 7:50 here on Extreme Sports. We've heard from John Butler. We've got our roulade here this morning. So a lot going on. Let's check the latest on the news this morning as we get you out the door.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start off at the state capitol, where lawmakers are another step closer to banning the sale of lab-grown meat after a bill was given first-round approval earlier this week. Governor Jim Pillen provided a statement on the issue, saying, quote, "This is a major victory for Nebraska agriculture. The creation of this bioreactor meat is simply a dishonest attack on producers in our state and has no place on Nebraska grocery shelves." He goes on to say, "Thank you to Senator Takei for the leadership and to all the other senators who voted to advance the effort to protect producers and consumers," end quote. Senators also gave first-round approval this week to a measure setting a lower minimum wage for young workers than the wage regulation that was approved by voters 3 years ago. Debate on that issue is expected to continue this week. Meanwhile, a former Webster County Sheriff's Office deputy is now facing several charges of possession of child pornography. 30-year-old Zachary Pohlmeyer has been charged with 5 counts of possession of child pornography. An arraignment in Webster County Court has been set for Friday. A Marquette woman is now facing first-degree murder charges after a 3-month-old was found unresponsive in her care and later died. 20-year-old Tiffany Cure is now charged with first-degree murder and committing intentional child abuse resulting in death. A pretrial hearing has been set for June 12th. Adams County residents will have the opportunity to recycle several kinds of electronics thanks to a grant from the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy's Waste Reduction and Recycling Incentive Grant Program. Say that 10 times fast. The Hastings Solid Waste Department will hold an electronics recycling event coming up on Friday and Saturday at 725 South Southern Hills Drive. For more information, you can head to the City of Hastings Facebook page. It is now coming up on 7:52. Let's get your check on sports here to get you out the door as we swing things back over to the East Side Studios with Mike Will.
Central City Centura beat the Hastings High baseball team 10-2 yesterday out of Duncan Field. The Colonels got off to a good start. They scored 3 runs in the first inning. Brody Dreer was the losing pitcher. He went 4 innings and gave up 3 runs and 3 hits. Dreer struck out 1 and walked 5. Dreer also had a couple of base hits at the plate. Hastings now 2-2 on the season. They'll play host to Ralston on Thursday. First pitch will be at 4:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame show at 4:15. Adams Central baseball team, they beat Holdridge 6-0 yesterday. Patriots are now 4-3 on the season. They'll play at York on Thursday. First pitch will be at 4:30. Sandy Creek head boys basketball coach Cole Wiseman is stepping down after 7 years with the program. He posted a 63-40 record with 2 district final appearances. Wiseman is moving to Crete next year as a teacher and assistant football coach. Tyler Colvin has been hired to replace Wiseman as the head boys basketball coach at Sandy Creek. Colvin was the head boys basketball coach at Columbus Lakeview for the past 7 years. We compiled a record of 41-96. Creighton scored 3 runs in the first inning, went on to beat Nebraska 9-5 last night at Hawks Field in Lincoln. Nebraska scored 5 runs on 9 hits, while Creighton totaled 9 runs on 12 hits. Riley Silva led the Huskers at the plate, going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. TJ Coates recorded 1 out in the start, allowing 3 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Nebraska now 12-18, actually 12-16 in the season. They'll play at Omaha tonight. First pitch will be at 6 o'clock. And the Nebraska men's basketball team will play Georgetown tonight in the second round of the College Basketball Crown in Las Vegas. Huskers are 18-14 in the season after Monday's 86-78 win over Arizona State. The Hoyas are 18-15. They beat Washington State 85-82 on Monday. Tip-off will be at 8:30 tonight. You can see it on FS1. In the other game tonight, Butler will play Boise State at 6. Last night, winners included Cincinnati, Central Florida, Villanova, and USC. That's a check in your sports headlines this morning now, 7:55 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Wednesday, we'll have lingering isolated showers around the day. It'll be cool. We'll be in the mid-50s, and the winds will increase out of the northwest 20 to 25 with some gusts in the mid-30s. Overnight tonight, the skies will clear. We'll have an overnight low right around freezing. On Thursday, we'll bring in more chances of showers in the evening after high of 55. Still a little breezy. Thursday night, an overnight low right around 40 degrees, and a chance for rain and a rain-snow mix as we head into the weekend.
Right now, we've got west winds at 11. It is 43 degrees at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Havronik. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday as we get you out the door today. Again, Tim mentioned the S word. Did you hear that in the forecast? He mentioned the S word possibly for the weekend again.
I did. What's the grounds on his employment for Extreme Sports?
Yeah. If you're going to bring up that S word,
yep,
in the month of April, he could just say something else like, Well, he says mixed precipitation, but
wintry
he
mix.
Wintry mix.
That doesn't even sound good in the spring. None of that shit sounds good. Like,
yeah.
Find something else to say.
Yeah. Thunderstorms. We'll take rain. We'll do that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, as far as Hastings College is concerned this weekend, all the games are coming up this weekend. The softball team, they're going to play at Morningside. Morningside on Saturday. Then they get to go to Waldorf.
Ugh.
They get to go to Waldorf and play on Sunday. The baseball team, they're going to play Friday at Concordia, and then they're back at home on Saturday for a doubleheader against Dort. We'll have the Dort Hastings College Series for you Saturday afternoon here on Extreme Sports, 1 o'clock. The action will get underway. 12:45, the pregame show on this Saturday afternoon. So we'll have Hastings College baseball coming up on Saturday. Hastings High baseball again tomorrow night against Ralston. The Rams coming in here to take on the Tigers. 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's Duncan Field. 4:15 for the pregame show. So that's what we have as far as sports play-by-play coverage is concerned for the rest of the week here on Extreme Sports.
How much further is it away from Sioux City to Forest City? How much further up the road?
Oh, you keep on driving.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I mean, at least they're taking care of it in the weekend where they're already out that direction anyways.
They were supposed to play up there a couple of weeks ago, and I think they had a doubleheader with Briar Cliff on a Saturday, and then they were going to go up there on a Sunday. That's the weekend it snowed.
There's that dirty S word again.
Yeah, that's the weekend it snowed up there. And we had snow here. That's the weekend we had snow here, too.
Mm-hmm.
So they pushed it to this weekend, so now they're back up in the Sioux City, and they're just going to make their happy little trail up to Forest City, Iowa.
Weekend road trip to Iowa for the softball team. I don't road trip well, so.
Yeah, and you don't want to go to Forest City here.
Really have no desire.
That's a long way up there.
I do want to try out the bar and grill that you found that gave you boneless wings. Just so I can go in there and yell, "Give me some damn chicken wings, will you?"
Oh, yeah, that was up
That was the trip, yep.
That was a trip up there. Just give me some damn chicken wings, will you?
Speaking of wings, did you hear Hooters filed for bankruptcy?
Yeah, I knew that was coming,
Yep.
but they're going to stay open. I read everything on it yesterday.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a reorganization.
Okay.
Hooters is in debt. Probably to pay Chase Elliott so much money for his NASCAR sponsorship that they're
Got to make some
out
more
of money.
trips. You haven't made enough trips out east yet.
No, I haven't. I need to
Hooters
get
is in debt. Mike Williams only had one trip out there this season.
I need to get into Hooters because they need some money. Yeah, they need some money. Kansas City, when I go down there for the race,
yeah,
there's a Hooters right across the street.
There you go.
Oh, I'll be over there.
They'll be in the black by no time. NASCAR season's coming.
Yeah, they'll see us coming. Okay, here comes that bunch. Shoo, we can make payroll for another month. Make payroll for another month. So anyway, tonight we've got Nebraska basketball beginning at 8:30 tonight. The Huskers and Georgetown. So we'll see what Nebraska can do. If they win, they play again on Saturday in the semifinals. So that's what's going on in the Tube tonight. Anything else as we get ready? The Final Four doesn't take place until this weekend, so we don't have any other college basketball going on tonight. So all eyes, this tournament makes sense. It really does. When I first heard about this tournament a long time ago, the College Basketball Crown, I said, nobody's going to be watching that. Everybody's going to be focused on the NCAA tournament.
There's a lot of downtime.
Now that it's being played out, that tournament really does make sense.
Huh.
Especially if you're in Vegas.
Funny how those damn TV executives seem to always get it right,
Yeah, they've got it right with the TV downtime, with the basketball Final Four not taking place till Saturday. What do? Let's just slide in a little tournament here.
I mean, my only gripe on it is 3 weeks is a hell of a layoff. And in that 3-week stretch, you have smack dab in the middle of it the opening of the transfer portal. So what happens down the road when you get a team of that qualifies for the CBC and they want to go out and perform in the College Basketball Crown, but half your team hits the transfer portal? Nebraska survived. We were really lucky when you think about it. All those guys are going to stick around.
The ones we've already got a lot of them that are leaving anyway because they're seniors, so they're graduating. The ones that are going to be here next year, which is not a whole lot of them, are sticking around. So I think you'll see a move. Hopefully by next year that they're going to move this transfer portal window a little bit.
You have to.
Yeah, because it's causing some
problems.
problems. Yeah, it's causing some problems in the NCAA tournament too. Mm-hmm. So I think you'll see a pushback, maybe hopefully into April sometime.
Yeah,
it was causing problems with college football during the bowl season. So the executives in their little glass offices, they'll come up with something.
Oh, good. I can't wait till the suits make up more rules for football.
Yep, more rules. So anyway, if you want to listen to the show again, you can listen to the podcast section in one of our social media sites here today. Even on Roku TV, there's a spot where you can listen to this show again in its entirety. And we'll get back together again tomorrow, huh? Maybe we'll get the Huskers into the semifinals. That'll be the top story tomorrow if we can get the Huskers a win tonight.
Hopefully happy Fred Hoiberg joins us tomorrow. I don't like sad Hoiberg.
Yeah, because that would be the end of the season.
It would be really sad Hoiberg. We want happy Hoiberg.
All right, I'm going to head out and try to find me some garage beer today. That's
8:05.
That's tops on my. Probably can't get into the liquor store yet, can I?
You got to wait an hour.
They're probably not open yet.
9 a.m.
I'll take a shower first. Then I'll go out and look for some beer. All right, we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 7. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.